Poor us, living in a world ruled by money. Those who have it are the lucky, and those who don't are the less fortunate. But can the fact that the world is controlled by money be a way towards your prosperity? In order for us to be able to say, lucky us, instead of poor us, we need to address the reasons behind our poverty, so that we can fix them. Many of us have a general understanding of what poverty looks like. Many consider it to be that homeless person on the side of the road asking for change. Maybe so. But how about having to struggle to make ends meet? Having limited options? Living paycheck to paycheck? Working for food? Netflix and rent? Or being behind on your bills? Does that count as poor? Bad news! By today's standards, you don't have to be homeless to be poor. Stick till the end of the video, because there are some nuggets of information that might help you understand both the reasons and the habits that keep people in poverty and how to deal with them. Don't forget to embrace that subscribe button with affection and hug the thumbs up button with all your heart. And here we go. Number 1. Born poor. Let's face it, you are poor because your parents are poor. But how come many who are born with the same condition can turn things around? People in general have a tendency to blame their poverty on many aspects of their lives, like luck, circumstances, and their upbringing in a poor household. All of these reasons may be true, but the essential element responsible for one's poverty is their mindset and the practices they continue holding on to, not knowing they are the root of their misfortune. Contrary to popular belief though, poverty is not a disease you get from your parents or an unlucky outcome you suffer from for life. It is the result of systemic issues that you contribute to more than you want to admit. So changing one's mindset goes a long way in changing their financial situation. Number 2. Lack of budgeting. One careless habit that breeds poverty is the lack of budgeting and financial planning. Without a budget, it can be nearly impossible to manage finances and make ends meet, which leads to overspending and accumulating debt, making it difficult to improve one's financial situation. To solve this, it's important to create a budget and stick to it. This means setting financial goals, tracking expenses, and making sure to prioritize them. Some minimalists would even suggest that you only spend your money on survival necessities like food and shelter, but that's another topic for later. Number 3. No rainy day stash, aka emergency fund. Something that many take lightly is their lack of savings. Financial advisors' first lesson is to have something that you can lean back on if and when things get rough. Without savings, you can't handle unexpected expenses such as car repairs or medical bills. This can lead to more debt and financial instability. So you need to start saving money as soon as possible. Even 10% of your income could be a good start. Of course, we recommend more, but start with what makes you feel comfortable. Setting aside a portion of your income for saving, even if it's a small amount, and making sure to increase that amount over time is your safety net. Even millionaires take this to heart. Number 4. Lack of skills. Lack of education and job training is another reason you are poor. Without the necessary skills and knowledge, it can be difficult to secure higher paying jobs. I mean, let's face it, life is hard all around, and without the necessary skills, you can't face the music. Especially money. It loves the skillful and rewards them. Poverty is a vicious cycle that keeps controlling your life unless you invest in yourself. This means taking advantage of any available educational chances and seeking out job training opportunities in fields that interest you. Speaking of knowledge, there's more where that came from, if you subscribe and like the video. Number 5. Credit. The next agent of poverty is relying too heavily on credit. It can lead to accumulating high interest debt and make it difficult to get out of poverty. Use credit responsibly. When you use credit to make unnecessary and emotional purchases, you keep digging a deeper hole that aggravates your situation. If you happen to fall into its mercy, tread carefully. Paying off credit card balances in full every month and avoiding taking on too much debt are keys when it comes to keeping a good credit score. You never know when you might need it. Number 6. Thinking short-term versus long-term. There is a Latin proverb that says, Amat victoria coram, which translates into success loves preparation. A long-term financial plan goes a long way when it comes to finances and escaping debt. The majority of people can't achieve financial stability and move out of poverty because they don't have a long-term financial plan and didn't even think of having one. Setting financial goals, such as saving for retirement or buying a home, and creating a plan to achieve them is what separates the rich from the poor. Poor people live day to day and paycheck to paycheck and never plan for the future. And the thing about the future is that if you forget to plan for it, it never forgets, even when people do. Number 7. The monster. We have to stand in awe for the next reason for poverty. This monster is called procrastination, and it's scary and blood-curdling, just as the name suggests. Putting off important tasks is your kryptonite when it comes to improving one's financial situation. It's important to set deadlines for yourself and work towards them. This means breaking down larger tasks into smaller, more manageable ones and setting a schedule for completing them. It's easy to dream about riches, but if you don't execute, you end up in the same place. Lack of self-discipline and lack of perseverance go hand in hand with procrastination. They belong to the same terrifying family. Without perseverance and self-discipline, it can be difficult to overcome obstacles and achieve financial stability. It's important to keep pushing forward and not to give up. This means learning from mistakes, seeking out help and support when needed, and not being afraid to try new things. Number 8. Absence of multiple revenue streams. Having multiple streams of income is a financial necessity for the rich. For poor people, having a job is the ultimate goal. And they forget that that job can go poof whenever things get tough on them or on their bosses. When that job takes its course towards vanishing, they resort to the same pattern, looking for another job, or they succumb to the horrors of unemployment. Not rich people though. They have multiple streams pouring money into their accounts. And if one of these streams dries out or faces hardship, they stay unfazed because, who cares, right? They are always going to be okay. Poverty is a complex issue, with many contributing factors. Breaking the cycle and addressing the root causes is a multifaceted process that requires a holistic approach. The first step in stopping the cycle of poverty is to try and stop the blame game you play with yourself. Focus on the things you can change, the most crucial of which is your mindset. Then invest in yourself, be it in education, job training, or a successful, reliable mentor. By acquiring new skills and knowledge, an individual can increase their earning potential and secure higher paying jobs. Study self-made millionaires and reverse engineer their processes. Create a budget and stick to it to avoid overspending and accumulating debt. Look for ways to increase income. This may include taking on a second job or starting a side hustle. Cut unnecessary expenses. Build an emergency fund. By having an emergency fund, an individual can better handle unexpected financial expenses. Create a long-term financial plan. This may include saving for retirement, buying a home, or starting a business. Identify and break any habits that may contribute to poverty, such as procrastination, lack of self-discipline, and dependence on credit. Finally, it's important to keep in mind that breaking the cycle of poverty is a long-term process that requires determination, persistence, and a willingness to work hard. Remember, it's a journey. Take it one step at a time and always seek help when needed. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you understand the complexity of poverty. And if you have any further questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Consider subscribing to our channel for more informative videos. Oh yeah, and that thumbs up button feels so lonely. Why don't you join your thumb to it and ease its loneliness? If you already did, thank you. Just kidding. See you on the next video. Live rich and prosper.